growing up, you guys set the standard for me for certain things, like Beast Wars set the standard for cartoon shows for me. Like, does there anything match up to it now? G1 didn't? What?
He's all yours.
But you guys are the best Bumblebee and the best Grimlock, and you set the standard for whatever the version of those characters people come up with.
You see how he weaseled himself out of that?
Well, my second question is actually more general, because you guys are great at what you do. Everybody knows what you guys do. You guys are great at it. Now, and you've talked about developing characters and how the voice changes. I got into a brief discussion with Mr. Newman earlier at his autograph session about how he came in halfway through a series because an actor couldn't finish a job, and he had to take over. And my question for you guys is, what do you do in that situation? Like, I mean, it's kind of already been established, but for whatever reason the guy can't do it, so you guys step in. I don't know if that's happened for all of you, because you guys are great at what you do, but you're talking about taking something somebody else did and kind of making it your own, or you just try to make it your own, or just go with what was set before in terms of that?
I think you need to be receptive to whoever has made that decision for you. So you kind of go where you're led, and sometimes they want something to stay as close to what they had as possible. Sometimes they require the opportunity to change it or transition it to something other than what they originally had. I did Men in Black. I was Agent K, but I wasn't the original Agent K. Thank you. Shoot him, Jay. He's a cerebrophecaloid. Their brains are in their bottoms. You know where to aim. But that, I don't know what decisions preceded that. I just know I was offered an opportunity and everything worked out pretty doggone good.
Well, frequently it's called a voice match, and they will ask someone to do a voice match. Now, there are different situations and different circumstances in which you're asked to do that. Sometimes the character who exists, or the actor who exists, is in contract negotiations. And the producers will ask actors to come in to do a voice match because that person is in contract negotiations and they're trying to frighten them. Those of us, and I'm sure the people on this panel, will not go near something like that. It's undercutting our fellow professionals. It's a nasty thing to do. If an actor passes away, fine. But if they're still alive, we generally don't go near that type of thing unless they're ill or those kind of situations. But frequently we will be asked, you know, can you do this, because we may not use him anymore. And that those of us who are responsible and who are respectful of our fellow actors never will participate in that type of thing.
Now, that being the case, I live in Canada, in Vancouver, and there have been a couple of situations where a production company decides they don't want to deal with what it costs to do a show in the US, and so they'll bring it up to Canada. And then it becomes a matter of, now, am I going to audition for this? If I don't, somebody else will. So it can be a little bit tricky. In the case of Oolong, Al Willows, who's a very good friend of mine, was just not in town. He was out of town doing a show, and they needed somebody who could be kind of like Al Willows, you know? So they asked me to come in and do it, and I wound up doing it. I hadn't really heard him do the thing before, though, so it was sort of, okay, I'm just doing an Al Willows voice and hoping that I understand what's going on. From what I understand, it worked out okay. But yeah, it can be a little bit daunting, especially in a situation like with the ADR like that, which you're not really seeing the whole thing.
Thank you very much. I'm probably not going to make it out of this convention alive.